Good evening. Welcome. Happy New Year. I hope you all got to enjoy it in one way or another. I slept. It was amazing. So, as always, go ahead and just take a moment to find your way to your mat, arriving here in the present moment with yourself, with your body. Maybe allowing your eyes to close. And as you settle in, just begin to check in with yourself, scanning your body, seeing where you may be holding on to any tensions, any buildup, any toxins, anything that doesn't serve you. Anything you don't want to carry with you into the next day. And with each inhale, just breathing in deep into your belly, filling all the way up through the rib cage, up into the sternum, and then a nice, long, slow exhale through the nose. Inhaling, healing, self-love. Exhale anything that doesn't serve you. And just continuing for a few more breaths with this intention. The intention to breathe in all that we want through gratitude, through self-love. Exhaling all the things we want to leave behind. And allowing your eyes to open. Go ahead and bring your legs out long, flexing the feet strong. If you have a little flesh under your sit bones, go ahead and remove some of that flesh, kind of pulling it out to the side, seeing if you can get a more solid seat, a more grounded seat. I find for me it also helps tip my pelvic floor forward a little bit, giving me a straighter spine. So see if you can get that nice straight spine there. With those feet flexed, really pressing out through the heels, drawing those toes back towards your body. Press down through the thighs so strongly that maybe you even pick your feet a little bit up off the ground. And from here, inhaling your arms up, really stretching up through that rib cage. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and allow your hands to come anywhere they do on your legs. Maybe you grab underneath to give you a little more leverage. Let's go ahead and start with a nice straight back. So continue extending out through the crown of the head, right in line with your neck. And just pulling that chest forward towards the legs. Wherever you are is good. Maybe you're back at your thighs, pulling here. Just wanting to get that nice stretch through the hamstrings, maybe all the way into the calves. Continuing to press those thighs down towards the mat. A few more deep breaths here. With each exhale, maybe you pull yourself a little bit closer to your knees. On your next inhale, beginning to press up. Let's go ahead and take those legs nice and wide as you can. And it's perfectly beautiful to keep a micro bend in the knees. If it's available to you and it's not hyperextending, go ahead and push those thighs towards the ground. Straight legs if you can. And then again, let's go ahead and raise up through the side body, inhaling. And with that next nice straight spine, go ahead and exhale, bringing the hands to the floor. And again, extending out through the crown of the head as if there was a cord attached right to the top, pulling it from the base of the spine straight out through the crown. Maybe you draw on those fingertips to switch screens real quick. Drawing through the fingertips, pulling your chest forward through your shoulder blades. Shoulders come down away from the ears. And a few more nice deep breaths here. Again, all the way down into the belly, up into the rib cage, filling all the way through the sternum, the chest. Exhaling in one nice smooth exhale through the nose. Again, maybe you come down a little bit deeper as you find some opening here. And beginning to press yourself back up to center. Just taking a couple side bends, go ahead and place that right hand on the mat. Left arm up, lengthening the spine. Exhale, bending to the right. If you really reach out through those left fingertips, you should get a really nice stretch all along the side body there. Inhale up through center. Exhale. Take a quick lengthen on that come through, and then exhale over. Now the right fingertips really reaching across. Inhale up through center, making your way onto your hands and knees. And once you find your setup, your knees about hips distance apart, hands about shoulder width apart, stacking those wrists under the shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, tailbone and crown rise. Exhale, arching the spine, pressing back through the shoulder blades. And coming through a few of these at your own pace, beginning to wake up the spine. And after your next round, go ahead and come back to neutral spine. Pressing that left foot out behind you, straightening it, pressing out through the heel, and maybe even pushing into the mat with your hands, giving it a little extra there. Releasing that, go ahead and inhale that left leg up, parallel to the mat, toes pointing towards the mat. Go ahead and check your hip. If it's floating up, go ahead and drop that hip down so that they're squared off, they're even, as if you could place like a glass of wine on your back and it wouldn't topple off. Go ahead and inhale that right arm up. Finding your balance here, drawing that belly button up and in, tightening the core. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, elbow to knee. Beautiful work, taking it nice and slow. Finding your flow here. I'm going to take it a couple more times. If you can, stay with me. One more time. And after that last crunch, go ahead and just return your hand and knee to the mat. Go ahead and stretch out through that right foot now. At first, just pressing out through the heel, and then maybe giving a little extra push through the hands. Seeing if you can get into any of those spaces a little deeper across the back of the calf. And inhaling that right leg up. Left arm up, finding that balance. Tightening through the core. And as you're ready, on your next exhale, elbow to knee. Inhaling, straightening. And exhale, crunching. Take your time. Go for 5 if you can. Take a break if you need. And I think I lost count, but I think that's the last one. At the end of your 5th one, go ahead and return your knee and hand to the mat. Pressing back into child's pose, hips go back, chest rests against your thighs. Forehead comes to the mat, dropping your heart down in between your shoulders. This is a great pose to come to if you just need to reconnect with your breath or give your muscles a moment. And we're about to start our flow. Inhaling forward onto your hands and knees. Exhale, tucking those toes under, hips up and back, down dog. Rolling those armpits in towards your ears, pressing those heels towards the mat, and really, really pushing your hips up to the sky. As if I came and grabbed in your hip creases and pulled your hips up. Chest drops down between the shoulders. Inhale, deep bend in the knees, hop or walk your feet to your hands. Exhale into a forward fold. We're going to hang out here in forward fold for a few breaths. Maybe inhale, straightening. Exhale, deepening into the fold. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, releasing down into the fold. You can also do this with your hands on your shins or thighs. Wherever you are, a nice deep bend in the knees. All options, please modify for your body. After your next exhale, go ahead and tuck that tailbone under, beginning to roll up one vertebra at a time. Allowing your head and neck to come last at the top, inhaling arms up overhead, taking a gaze towards the sky, mini back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back, high plank. Option 2, knees, chest, chin, or inhale at the top, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, back, down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, bending that knee and crunching, crunching, crunching until you can step it through. Maybe you shimmy that foot up a little bit more, coming into a nice wide lunge. Swiveling that back heel to the mat. We're going to inhale, windmill up, arms into warrior 2. Go ahead and bring those arms to shoulder height, maybe gazing out over that front fingertip. But take a quick peek down, make sure you can see your first 2 toes. If not, draw that knee back towards the back wall or back of your mat. For a couple more breaths here, go ahead and sink those hips just a little deeper. Flipping that front palm up, exhale, back hand, back thigh, extended warrior. Reaching up and out through that right hand, go ahead and bend just a little bit deeper. And then inhale forward, framing that front foot, placing both hands, stepping back, down dog. One deep inhale and exhale here and down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, crunch, crunch, crunching it in till you can step it through. Maybe shimmying it forward from that nice wide lunge, swiveling that back heel to the mat. Inhale, up, warrior 2. Pressing strongly through the soles of both feet, especially that back edge, the outside edge of that back foot. Again, double checking that that knee is not falling forward. Can you see your first 2 toes? Gazing out over that front middle finger, taking just another deep breath here. Exhale, and on your inhale, flipping that front palm up, back hand comes to the thigh, extended warrior. Breathing into that left side body, deepen into that bend in that front knee. Sinking the hips down, inhale, windmill forward. Exhale, framing the foot. Back heel comes up off the mat before you step back, down dog. Taking a couple deep breaths here in down dog. On your next inhale, bending deeply in the knees, floating or walking your feet to your hands. Exhale into forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms all the way up, mini back bend. But as you back bend, really tuck that belly button up and in, dropping that tailbone down. So the back bends come from like the rib cage up, as if you were spilling over like the arm of a chair. Coming back to center, exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, placing the hands and stepping back. high plank. Maybe you go straight down, knees, chest, chin. Maybe you take one more inhale here and go down through chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale back, down dog. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, step through. Go ahead and swivel that back heel to the mat right away. We'll windmill up and straighten in that front leg. We're going to come down into Trikonasana or triangle pose. So go ahead and make sure that front foot is parallel to the side of the mat, toes pointing straight forward. And then you will line up the instep of your back foot with that heel. So you will be on a tightrope for this one. Opening the hips, facing the side of your mat, shift that left hip back and right side body forward. When you've gone as far as you can with that right side body, go ahead and let that hand fall wherever it does, as long as it's not pushing right on the side of your kneecap. If it is, please come up a little higher. Go ahead and bring that left arm up. Lengthening out through the crown. Nice long spine, so continuing to pull back with this tailbone forward through the crown. Pressing into that back of that hand, into that shin or thigh, opening those shoulders even deeper towards the front of the room, as if we could squeeze you between two panes of glass. Inhale, back up, bending that front knee. Exhale, placing the hands, back heel comes up, step back, down dog. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, step through. Inhale, coming up with that back heel, swiveling to the mat. I'm going to switch directions. I like facing the camera. Inhaling up. Right as you get to warrior two, go ahead and straighten that front leg again. Setting up your bottom stance. Heel to instep. Toes point forward, front toes. This time, right hip draws back. Left side body forward. Go ahead and release hand to leg. Right arm comes up. Continuing to press into that right arm. Lengthening as much as you can out through that tailbone, up through the crown. On your next inhale, all the way up and releasing the hands. Go ahead and step up to the front of your mat. Go ahead and bring the insides of your feet right together, thighs squeezing together. Then we're going to begin to sit back into our chair pose. So tailbone tucks and drops down. You're going to take a peek down, make sure your knees are back so that you can see your toes. Maybe your hands come to heart center. Drawing that chest up as the hips sink down, gazing down again, making sure we can see our toes. And just sit as deep as you can. Maybe you're up here and this is really giving you a great workout. Your legs are shaking already. That's awesome. If not, keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting. Just a couple more breaths here. And exhale into forward fold. Beautiful job. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, place hands, stepping back. High plank. Maybe your knees, chest, chin, or inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, up dog. Exhale, back, down dog. I'm going to take a couple breaths here in down dog or child's, depending on where your body is at tonight in this moment. If you came down to child's, go ahead and come on back up to down dog as we inhale that right leg up and exhale, stepping it through. But don't go anywhere. We're going to stay right here. You're going to place that left hand to the mat, and you're going to begin to twist from the rib cage towards the right. Right arm comes up, revolve, side angle. Maybe you gaze up at your hand, maybe you gaze straight out, maybe you gaze down. Just so long as you're not feeling a tweak in your neck. Getting a nice spinal twist here, activating the digestive system. Go ahead and place that right hand back on the mat, stepping back, down dog. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, stepping through, low lunge. Now that right hand is on the mat, maybe you're on all 5 fingertips. To give you a little more height, maybe you can get your hand flat on the mat, maybe you have a block. Go ahead and revolve that rib cage towards that left leg, left arm comes up. Maybe you gaze up, pressing out through that back heel. Exhale, releasing that left hand back to the mat. Stepping back, down dog. Again, maybe you child's pose, maybe you down dog it. Go ahead, if you're down dogging, taking your feet to the outside edges of the mat, so wide down dog. Your heels are just out of your view. So if you can see your heels, twist your feet out a little bit, just until your heels disappear. Inhale, coming forward onto the knees, toes come together, pressing hips back, child's pose. Inhale, coming forward onto the hands and knees. We're going to go through a few half vinyasas, just the ground portion of it. Always feel free to do any portion from your knees. Hips up and back, down dog. As we inhale forward, we're gonna roll, really pushing through our hands. Like you can push your spine up, out through your shoulder blades. Once you come to plank pose, go ahead and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, maybe all the way up into up dog. Feet are pressing strongly into the ground, thighs are off. That protects the lower back. And exhale back, down dog. One deep inhale and exhale here. Inhale forward, plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale back, down dog or child's. I'm going to do this next one with the child's version because we're going to do a few more. So that would be an inhale forward into plank, dropping the knees, chest, shin, baby cobra, pressing back, child's pose. Inhale forward, tucking the toes into down dog, plank, knees, chest, chin, baby cobra, child's. Do this flow a couple more times at the pace of your own breath. And our body's nice and warm. Go ahead and bring your knees to the mat. And we're going to make our way all the way onto our back. How about actually to seated? Go ahead and place your hands behind you. Inhaling, knees and feet up off the mat. I'm going to do a modified boat pose, modified Navasana. So maybe you're here with your shins at about parallel to the mat, knees at about a 90-degree angle. Really drawing that chest up towards your thighs. Let's just start here. Let's do the first one here, not adding on. Just continuing to draw that chest towards the thighs. Then maybe we grab behind the thighs. So this will allow us to open our chest a little bit more, drawing our shoulders down away from our ears. Squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back. And you can kind of find that like nice balance point on your sits bones. And go ahead and release the feet to the mat. Curling your back away, holding behind the thighs. Inhale, straight back. We do a couple more rounds of this. Inhaling, feet up off the mat, chest draws forward. Maybe you still hold behind the thighs and begin to straighten the legs. And exhale, release. Curving the back. Inhale forward, chest comes through the shoulders. We're going to go just one more time. This is not my strong pose either, so I'm going to attempt to do a full one. Feel free to do a full one or any other modifications. Holding behind the thighs, hands on ground. Bent knees. Maybe you give it a shot for a second or two, straightening the legs, straightening the arms, pressing that chest up towards the sky. And exhale, release. Go ahead and roll back all the way onto your back. We're going to make a triangle with the hands. And you're going to place that triangle, palms down, right under your sacrum. It's like that triangle-shaped bone right at the base of your spine there. It should feel really good. Then go ahead and tuck that belly button in. So you're kind of pushing any extra space between the floor and your spine out. Erasing that space. And then go ahead and draw the feet up. So I had to readjust my hands a little bit. You might have to too. So really just finding that comfortable spot. Your fingers shouldn't be like digging into any places that feel awkward. Go ahead and straighten those feet towards the sky. And then you're going to exhale, dropping them down to about a 45-degree angle. Inhale back up. Exhale, dropping to 45. Inhale up. And if this isn't dumping into your spine, go ahead and do a few more with me. Exhaling just to a 45. Inhale back up to 90 degrees. Continuing to push that spine towards the ground. Beautiful work. When you come back up to straight, go ahead and bend the knees, releasing the feet to the mat, pressing up and releasing your hands. You're gonna go ahead and I guess keep your heels a little bit away from your body so we get a little bit workout here, but I'm gonna do my favorite kind of little side or oblique exercise without making you do a side plank right now. And they're called the penguins. So your hands are gonna come down by your side and you're just gonna have your shoulders just a couple inches off the ground, head up, and you're gonna go side to side. Exhale, side, inhale through center, exhale, other side. We're gonna go back and forth a few times. You should feel a nice crunch right along that side there. Stay with me if you can. If not, take a break and maybe come back for a couple more. We're just going for a couple more. You're almost there. One more each side. And back to center, releasing the head and shoulders back to the mat. If you have a block with you and want to do a supported bridge, go ahead and grab that. If not, we're just going to do a few regular bridges. So now you're really going to draw those heels in as close as you can to your body. Kind of rolling your shoulder blades together and under your back. Placing the palms of your hands on the mat. Begin pressing into your feet, rolling the spine up one vertebra at a time till your hips come up as high as they can. Maybe you place a block here. Maybe you roll your shoulders under, clasping the hands. Back edges of the hands press into the mat. Chin tucks a little bit forward into your chest. Continue pressing through your arms, pressing through your feet, squeezing through your glutes. If you took the class, go ahead and unclasp your hands, rolling your shoulders out from under your spine and beginning to roll down one vertebra at a time. Allowing your tailbone to come back to the floor last. Taking a couple breaths here. If you're taking the supported, go ahead and just leave it. We're going to take another one, another bridge. Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. And as you're ready, go ahead and begin pressing back into those feet, beginning to roll the spine up off the mat, rolling those shoulders under, pressing into the sides of the hands, the whole back edge of the arms, strongly through the feet, squeezing the glutes, drawing that belly button up and in. squeezing those thighs towards one another so your knees are not flailing out to the side. This is a very active pose. I am working pretty hard here. And you are too. Go ahead and begin to unroll the shoulders from under your back, releasing the hands, rolling down one vertebra at a time. If you took the supported pose, go ahead and remove that block now. Rolling down. When you make your way all the way to the mat, go ahead and bring those knees up and in, giving them a hug in towards your chest. Maybe you make some gentle circles in one direction and some gentle circles in the other direction. Go ahead and keep that right knee in, left foot out long, flexing strongly, pressing out through the heel. Continue to drawing in through to that knee with your hands. Begin to bring that knee just a little bit to the outside of your side body, kind of in towards the armpit. Maybe you spin your ankle around. See if you can get, mine's not very smooth, but working towards a nice smooth circle. Taking it in both directions. Go ahead and bring that knee back up to center. Release. Right foot to the mat. Strong flexed foot. Left knee up. Start by just drawing it in straight towards your chest. Then begin to draw that knee out to the side just a little bit and in towards your armpit. With that knee drawn in towards the armpit, go ahead and begin to work that left ankle. Making circles one direction, and then the other. And then go ahead, release that left leg as well. Bending both knees, grabbing behind the thighs, begin to roll yourself up to seated. Just a few more to go. Go ahead and come down onto the belly. Since we've done a couple back bends and a couple counter poses, we're going to go with a few more back bends and a couple more counter poses. So I haven't done this one much yet since jumping into teaching, but we're going to go ahead and take bow. So lifting both feet off the mat, you're going to grab either the tops of the feet or the ankles if that's available to you. But if you can and do grab the ankles, then I want you to flex your feet. So once you have your feet grabbed, a good hold on them, really press those knees and thighs together. So you don't want your knees to go flailing out to the side here. And then we're going to prepare to lift. So as we lift, you're going to kick your hands into your feet, feet into your hands, and just focus on taking, if you can, 3 deep breaths. Obviously, it's a lot harder to breathe when your lungs are pressed against the mat, but go ahead and give it a try. Come out as you need to. Pressing into the hands, hands into the feet. Squeezing those thighs together. And exhale, release. Go ahead and release the feet all the way to the mat. And then maybe you take your hands, now that you've touched your feet, go ahead and take, if you like, or you can leave your hands by your side and put your cheek on the mat, but make a pillow with your hands. And we're just going to inhale that left leg up, pressing the heel towards the sky. The hip still stays down towards the mat, so we're not like curving our hips out to the side, just that leg up, squeezing through the back of the leg. And exhale, release. And now bringing that right heel up towards the sky, keeping that hip down, squeezing through the back of the leg. And release. One more time, each side. Inhale, left heel up. And release. Right heel up. Hip down. And release. Hands under shoulders, hips back. One more time, child's pose. So go ahead, release that back bend. This is a nice counter pose for back bends. We get a nice forward fold. Maybe your elbows come to the mat, forehead to the mat. And inhaling forward onto your hands and knees. Final time to our backs. I do love a nice inversion. This one is actually really good for insomnia and other like subtle sleep things. Legs up the wall is one great way to do that, like right before bed, or when I prepare you ahead of time to be by a wall, but we're gonna go ahead and just take candle. So to get into that, you're gonna kind of roll your shoulders under your back a little bit. Then you're gonna bring your feet and knees up off the mat, rolling and catching your hips in your hand. Then you'll begin to walk your hands down your hips a little bit, pretty much until they can grab the top of your hip bone. That's a pretty nice place to like hold. Although eventually, or if you're familiar, you can keep walking them up the spine and get pretty far up. Feel free to just take it here tonight. Kind of work those elbows so they're facing straight behind you. And then from here, squeezing your glutes, pressing the balls of your feet or flexed feet up towards the ceiling. That chin is just slightly tucked in towards the chest. Please do not look to the side, but you can put a tiny bit of pressure at the back of the head, and that's actually a great way to open up and release any tension at the very, very top of your spine in like those last three vertebra at the very top of your neck. And go ahead and begin to release your feet over your head towards plow. Now you might not be
at a place in your spine where you can go into full plow, but just dropping them kind of to where they go. Maybe you do make it to the mat. Maybe you bend your knees deeply. Your knees could come by your ears. And from here, beginning to roll down, one vertebra at a time. Once your tailbone comes to the mat, you can release your feet to the mat. Go ahead and cross that left leg over the right knee. Inhale up into figure four. Flexing that top foot, breathing into the back of the hip. Go ahead and release that right foot back to the mat. Uncrossing and now crossing the right foot over, flexing that right foot. Inhale up, maybe grabbing behind the thigh or in front of the shin. Figure four on the other side. And go ahead and release that foot. Just go ahead and do that left foot back on top. Both knees over to the right. Opening that left arm out behind you, gazing out over your left shoulder, and continuing to draw that left knee towards the floor. Nice spinal twist here. Inhale up through center. And crossing the other way. Dropping both knees over to the left. Maybe you put your hand on top of that right knee, drawing it a little bit closer to the ground. Right arm out. Maybe you gaze over to the right. Inhale, up through center, and releasing that cross. Go ahead, draw your legs out long, arms open to the sides. Grab a little blanket if you need real quick. As we relax into Shavasana, our final resting position. Just Just taking a few minutes here to allow our practice to settle in. This is a beautiful time to get to know ourselves a little bit better. Maybe take this time to just observe the thoughts that cross through your mind. Don't grasp for them, don't hold on to them, don't even attribute any meaning to them. Just notice what comes up. And then let it go and let the next thought pass and notice and let it go. And continuing like this. Go ahead and take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Beginning to bring your awareness back into your body, into the room. And as you're ready, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Beginning to roll onto your side for fetal position. And from fetal, go ahead and begin to push yourself back up to seated. As we come together back where we began at the beginning of class in Sukhasana, or seated position. I'm just taking one more deep breath in, inviting all those new intentions, new directions, new dreams, new plans for this next year in. And exhaling everything that no longer serves us out. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.